Hey guys, this is a bit of an impromptu video discussing the mother cutting off her daughter's braids to spite the baby's father.
My baby sitting up out there bitch crying.
I don't care. I told you stop playing with
This
me.
motherfucker cut my baby hair out of her
So
head.
then,
Look at that
now
shit. That shit sad. Hurt
Now
my
what?
baby feeling.
now what?
Cause you don't hurt the dad, you hurt her
I
feelings.
do
You
my
hurt my
own
baby
girl
feelings.
hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
I do my own girl hair.
My baby sat there for 2 hours.
Stop playing with me.
It's images like that get a certain demographic of people going about how, Black mothers are toxic or single mothers are toxic, or that Black mothers are the reason why children grow up a certain way and why Black children end up in a certain lane than others. I saw some comments saying, it's a vicious cycle. This is how this young girl is going to grow up and be just like her mother. And I think what gets lost in this conversation at times is the pain that the father may have inflicted on the mother, and not to absolve this woman of any accountability for her behavior. What she did was despicable. She should not have done that to her child. It was trauma for that little girl. But I think what gets lost is, why would this woman do something like that? Why would she traumatize and hurt her daughter in such a psychological and emotional way? What would push her to that lane? Why was she so upset and angry and bitter and so staunch on the point of, this is my daughter and you need to get permission before you do anything to my daughter's hair, right? It's a way of her trying to maintain some sort of control, because she may feel she's lost control. The baby's father has moved on. He's living his life. He's no longer giving her any attention. Their bond may not be as strong as it once was. So this is a way for her to just be in control, to still have some sort of dominance over the father. I don't think she imagined her life being what it is right now, right? Being a single mother, probably struggling, looking for work, trying to feed these babies, right? We already know the 9-to-5 life, honey. For some of us, it's not that fun. It's not that great, for me included. Not a huge fan of it, but I'm currently doing it right now. Just trying to get by, doing her best to try to get by and provide for her children and live a decent lifestyle, a comfortable lifestyle. What would push her to do that? And I think that at times it's the pain that men inflict on women, whether knowingly or unknowingly. She probably thought that her and this man, the child's father, were going to get married or at least stay connected to each other, or at least have an amicable relationship with each other where there would be no co-parenting situation. We would be together and we would raise these children as a unit. I cannot speak to the specifics of their relationship because I do not know. I can only assume based off of the video, what I see. It just seems as though she's angry, she's upset, she's bitter. And I hate to use those trigger words when describing Black women, but what else would prompt her to do that? Anger, frustration, that she gave up the best years of her life. She gave up her energy, her support, her life for this man, to bear this man's child. Probably they had a falling out and he's gone on to do his own thing. And so she doesn't really know how to express and release that frustration, but on the children, right? Because that child is half of her and half of him. So every time you look at that child, you're seeing this person who stripped you of your freedom, who stripped you of hope, who stripped you of this life that you thought you'd be living, this life that you'd rather be living. And it's so easy to blame the mother. It's so easy to say, oh my God, she's angry and she's a bad mom and she shouldn't have did that. But can we dive deeper? Can we critically think? Can we get to the root of what prompted this woman to be like this? And, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's just who she is, right? Maybe she's just more of a commanding presence, and maybe she's serious. Like, don't nobody touch her baby's hair. Only she does. I see a lot of men turning, it almost works so perfectly for their narrative, because now they're like, oh, you see, y'all call us deadbeat dads. And when we take the babies to go get their hair done, and then that's still a problem. Y'all still don't like it. And then you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh my God. And what's being erased is the pain that this man may or may not have inflicted on this woman. Because clearly we understand that the anger is not toward the child. We know that. It's been misplaced upon the child, but the anger is toward the baby's father. That's where the frustration is aimed, or should have been aimed. So what transpired between these two adults to now cause this woman to legit cut her baby's hair? Because at the end of the day, I can't be mad at him, right? Like, yes, the woman in the video, the woman says, I'm a braid, I'm a hair, or maybe not in the video, but in her Facebook post, she says, I'm a hair braider, I do hair. Why would I need somebody else to do my baby hair when I braid? Okay, girl, even if you do braid, your baby's father just took this little girl to go get her hair done. She probably spent 2-3 hours in the chair. First of all, he saved you 2 to 3 hours that it takes you to braid the hair, right? And then he saved you 2 to 3, maybe even 4 weeks of you not having to deal with this baby's hair. So now you can go on and, focus on something else, put your energy towards something else. Because we know styling our hair, our natural hair, takes time. It takes maintenance. And that's why we love protective styles, because we get to keep our hands out of our hair for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if you can stretch it, maybe even 2 months. I just always want to prompt the conversation to go deeper. I see everyone bashing this woman, and it is justified, yes, because you don't inflict that kind of trauma on a child. But why is she mad? Why is she angry? Why would she take scissors to her daughter's head? Why was she unable to be reasonable and rational and say, hey, okay, well, at least her hair braided. At least I ain't got to deal with her hair for 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. You know what I mean? I might not be happy that somebody else had their hands on my baby's hair, but at least I can now go a month without dealing with her hair. Why wasn't she able to rationalize that? Why she was overcome with frustration? She was upset. She was angry. And that blinded her enough to take scissors to her baby's head. Women by nature are self-sacrificial. We give, we're pleasers, we're givers, we're nurturers. We want to please people. We want to make sure that the people that we are in relationships with are okay. So sometimes we will compromise what we believe in. We will compromise what we think is right, what we want, in order for the other person to be okay. And I imagine that that's what this woman did. And what did she get in return, right? She's now a baby mama, probably struggling. Here, this man comes with the good guy syndrome. Hey, I was just trying to take my kids out to go get their haircut and go get their hair done. I don't know. It's just, it gets me thinking, like, dang, like, what are some of the ways that Black men inflict pain on Black women and cause the very stereotypical bitter Black woman stereotype that they despise so much? What role are they playing? How do toxic mothers become toxic? What does their experience have to be to create them into this quote unquote toxic person? So I just hope that men understand how your actions at time can breed feelings of frustration within the woman that you have engaged with. And then it's like, it's this idea of, you'll have some men that say, oh, well, she should have chose a better man, right? You should have chose a better man. If he, you should have vetted him better. If you didn't want him to get you pregnant and leave you, you should have did a better job vetting him and making sure that he was a good guy, But then when you say, okay, fine, I'll vet him and I'll choose a quote unquote good guy. I won't deal with the guy that's not financially secure. I won't deal with the guy that has a criminal background or criminal record. I won't deal with the guy that has the mommy issues. I won't deal with the guy who on the outside doesn't look up to par. When you say that, when you establish those boundaries, then those very same men come to contradict you and say, well, see, this is why Black women don't support Black men. Y'all don't give us a chance. Your standards are too high. Y'all don't give us a chance. Da, da, da. So it's like we can't win. Right? When you draw the boundary and say, okay, fine, I'm going to choose a better guy, then they come back and say, well, you're excluding us. You're judging us. Your standards are too high. Give us a chance. You're not giving us a chance. Then when you do give them a chance, right, when you do settle for the guy or get with the guy who's not financially insecure, when you do get with the guy that's displaying narcissistic tendencies, then it's, you risk him playing you or disrupting your peace and things like that. So I don't know. My mind is just kind of racing on this topic. Again, I feel for the little girl. We've all been, 6, 7, 8, went to the braiding shop, got our hair done, went through the pain of them parting our hair and plaiting our hair. We've all been there. And then when you've gone through the fire, that is the braiding chair, when you've gone through the fire and your hair is done and it's neat and it's sleek and you get out that chair and you're like, oh my goodness, I look so good. Even as a young girl, you can still have that emotion and relationship with your hair. And then you get home and then your mommy is cutting it off after you've went through all of that. And then the mother would have to take down fresh braids. Oh my God, no, that baby was in so much pain. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that baby was going through it. The pain to get the braids done and then the pain to take out fresh braids. And the mom in the Facebook post said the braids were tight. Oh, that baby was going through it, y'all. All because the parents couldn't get it together. So be very mindful about who you procreate with. Be very mindful about who you lay with. I know we live in a time where hookups and casual sex just happens, right? But really, really be mindful, because it seems as though the children suffer. In some cases, it does become a vicious cycle of like kids growing up in toxic households and then embodying these behaviors that they learned or saw. They embody that toxic nature, and then they come out into the world and spread more toxicity. But not in any way to condone the mother's behavior. Again, like I said before, what she did was despicable. It was hurtful. It hurt me to see that. But let's dive deeper and not just bash this woman. Let's understand her pain. She's in pain. Where is this pain coming from? Who caused it? Who hurt her for her to hurt that baby? Are Black women allowed to be upset? Maybe the way that you release that anger is not the best, but and I know that Black men, some, not all, are pros at evading accountability. They won't take accountability for their role in how this woman is releasing her anger and how her anger has manifested. They'll just bash her. Oh, da da. Anyway, y'all, just wanted to just see where y'all's heads are at and what your opinions are and how you feel about this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk later.